too. Okay, does everyone have a snowflake? Susie. Okay. We're going to do a couple different things with your snowflake. Are you ready? Stay right here. Okay. First thing I want you to do is take your snowflake and write your name in the middle of the snowflake. I know you all have a pen because you've been taking lots of notes today. Write your name in the middle of your snowflake. Just like your snowflake has all different sides, your business has a bunch of different sides. It's not just all about sales. You heard today it's about building your team and recruiting, things like that. So we're going to talk about setting a goal for both of them. While you write your name on your snowflake, I want to ask you about goals. You know the old saying, if a tree falls in the forest and nobody's around, does it really make a sound? It's the same thing with a goal. If you make a goal and don't write it down, is it really truly a goal? No. Your goals need to be written down. Sometimes when you write them down, you hold yourself more accountable for them, don't you? So write your goals down. I don't care if you write them down on a sticky and stick it somewhere, but write them down. When you write down goals, make sure you've got a short-term goal in the next week or two and reward yourself. Maybe a long-term goal for the next month, 2 months, 5 years. Reward yourself. Tell yourself what you're going to get. When I first joined Tupperware, my goal was to date and hold 6 parties in a week. Well, I put a big old bowl of M&Ms there, and every time I date a party, I'd get to empty that bowl. One, empty the bowl. Every time I got a no, I could have one out, but once I got a yes, I could empty that bowl. And me and my kids would sit there and eat those M&Ms together, and we celebrated it. And then I'd fill it back up, start my calls again. If I got a no, I could eat one. And I would eat one because that would remind me that there is more sweet coming. I've got to keep making those calls because there's a lot more in that bowl that I want, right? So make yourself a goal and reward yourself all along. Doesn't matter how big the success is, reward yourself because it'll make you want another goal. So write your name in the middle. Now, you see there's 6 little arms to this snowflake? How many people does it take to be on your team to get into the STAR program, to the STAR manager or DIQ? 6. So you got 6 little arms here, and if you don't have them, you got to fill them up with recruits. And we want you to go out and recruit at least 6 team members. If you don't have 6, if you've got more than 6 but they're not all working, fill them up with working people, right? Because what happens is when you get your 6, then each one of them recruits 3. Isn't this the cutest thing ever? I know, I love this thing. And then you've got 6 managers on your team, right? How can you not promote to director if you've got 6 managers underneath you? Now, the average manager team is $2,000 in sales minimum, right? So that's a minimum of $12,000 a month in sales. Sometimes we talk to people and tell them, I see a director in you, and they don't even see it themselves yet. But if you concentrate on your goal of you having 6 working people and then helping them promote up to manager, then you're absolutely going to make your goal of your team being a director team. So that's this side. Now turn it over. Inky talked about keeping your store open and shopping. This is probably my favorite time of the year because it gives me like the freedom to shop, and I can say that it's for the holidays, right? Anybody else do that? I give myself permission to shop extra and do more stuff around the holidays, spend more money. So I want extra money right now. Do you know that if you did 2 parties this next week, that way you get your apron. Y'all saw the beautiful apron Judy had on? How many people are earning the apron? Okay, Judy, you see how many people are earning this apron? Hold them up high, because we're proud. All right, Judy's counting. All right, she's going to order them. So you're going to do your 2 parties this next week. Remember all the things we heard? Everybody was doing the $1,000 this week to earn your apron. So that's 2 of your parties. You can write that on the 2 arms. Apron, apron. Then you want to hold 2 parties the next week. The first week of December. Because like Inky said, that, everything's not shutting down. People aren't even closed on Thanksgiving anymore. Right? Don't close your store. And no one else is shutting down. There won't be tumbleweed rolling through the streets of downtown Houston. Right? Everybody will still be out shopping. So do 2 parties the first 2 weeks of December. And 2 in the second 2 weeks of December. And do you know what that's going to give you? That's going to give you a profit of $750. Right? And then a personal volume bonus of $320. So you make over $1,000. That's not even counting your team bonus, all the things you're going to earn, all that. So that's just holding 2 parties this next week to get your apron, 2 the first week, and 2 the second week of December. So 6 parties. So make your goal those 6 parties. How many of you are sitting here saying, I don't have a bunch of parties up? Okay, well, you know, if you ask the directors back there if they always have all the number of parties they want, they're going to tell you no. We do the same thing you guys do. We put our pants on one britchy leg at a time, just like you guys do. And we have to make party calls and date parties just like you. I encourage you to go out, have a goal of how many parties you're going to hold, and make the phone calls and get it done. If you can't make the phone calls, call your upline director and make the phone calls with them and get it done. There's not anyone in here that couldn't go out tomorrow and take parties. Make them tell you no 5 or 6 times. Don't take no, right? But have a goal. If you don't have a goal, you don't know where you're going. And not knowing where you're going is like getting in a car going on vacation and not having any plans. And you just drive around. Do you end up having a good vacation? No. What do you do when you get ready to have a vacation? You plan, you think about it, you dream about it. And when it becomes a reality, it's probably the best vacation you've ever had. If we treated our business like we treat a vacation and do all the planning and the preparation and take it just as serious as we do our vacation time, our business would not be as much a hobby, it would be more of a business. And we'd have a lot more money to take those vacations, right? So set yourself a goal and go out today and make your goal happen. And we'll see you all up here next year, right?
Right.